Hey everyone, so I am filming a video. I didn't really expect to film today or any time soon, but I wanted to give you guys a major life update of mine. I am moving out of New York City temporarily. I know you guys are probably so confused because I mentioned probably in like 2 vlogs ago that I had re-signed my lease and that I had negotiated the rent down, but my roommate actually had another opportunity come up recently and she was not able to like commit to this new lease. So we ended up emailing our landlord and getting out of this lease because it technically hasn't started yet. It starts September 1st was when our new lease would have started, but since we asked to get out of it, we ended up getting out of it, and we also had a lot of issues with our landlord, so honestly in hindsight it's probably for the better that we did get out of it. But yeah, I was gonna like write down some points of what to say for this, but I've just been so emotional about this. I am leaving New York City. I am in the middle of moving, so you guys can see my room is a giant mess. I don't have my dresser anymore. I don't have my nightstand. I don't have my bookshelf. Like, I've gotten rid of so much stuff. And so if you're in the New York City area and you're looking for some stuff, hit me up. Anyways, okay, so you guys know I absolutely love New York City. I went home for a little bit during the pandemic in March because I was actually had a trip home planned, so I just went home, packed for about 4 days, and then ended up staying for about 2 months at home until May, where I ended up coming back to New York City. And I came back because my apartment was here. I just really missed it. I wanted to be back, and even during COVID, obviously it's been very different, and I know I missed the really bad months of COVID here, so I'm not trying to say I experienced it when it was kind of at its peak. While I was here during COVID, I didn't think it, like, I still wanted to be here. Like, I still love the city so much and I just wanted to be here. All my friends had left and I was like, this is my home. Like, I want to be here. And I know a lot of people might have mixed opinions on what like my life decisions. I just really love the area that we live in, and I'm just so like I just love New York City. So I was like, okay, it's just easier if we re-sign. We'll just stay here another year, even though looking back in hindsight, we probably shouldn't have, because we have had mice. That is still actually an issue. We've had mold. We have had cockroaches. It's like so gross. I live in a really old building, but I just like loved the area. I loved being here. I wanted to stay. And so we re-signed, and then literally yesterday or 2 days ago, I found out that she had this other opportunity that came up and we needed to make moves. So we ended up getting out of our lease since it's technically started in September 1st, and we just are finishing out the lease that we had signed originally, which ends August 31st. So that leaves me like a week to get packing and to move everything and to like move my whole life. I decided I had a few options. I was either going to find a 1-bedroom because I don't really want a roommate anymore. I think I really just want to live by myself. So it was either to find a 1-bedroom, find a studio in the city, just re-sign, move all my stuff there. That was an option that I was really heavily considering. And then the more I was thinking about it, I was just like, okay, I think prices are still gonna go down during COVID, because it's still like the summer, so it's still like a peak month to move, but I think prices are still gonna get better later on, even if they don't, whatever. And also I was just thinking the winter months here. Right now, I'm fine being here because people are outside. I literally go on a walk like every morning. It's so beautiful out. I love walking around. I love eating at an outdoor restaurant. Like, I like being able to walk along the water. Like, I'm spending a lot of time outdoors here, which is so nice. And I was just thinking, once the winter comes around, I don't really know how New York is gonna be. Like, there might be a wave 2. We might be on tighter restrictions. We might not be able to do anything, and like, I'm such a baby in the winter. I don't like the cold. So I was like, I'm not gonna want to be like walking outside when it's 20 degrees, you know? And if I'm just gonna be trapped in a tiny apartment by myself, I was scared I was gonna get really lonely, especially if, let's say, COVID restrictions are on full force and I can't even visit my boyfriend. I can't visit my family because I'm in one of those states that has that 2-week quarantine rule when I come back in here. So I was just like, what am I gonna do in the winter? I made the decision that I don't think it's a smart move financially and also just realistically for me to sign a whole new 1-year lease living by myself when I am so uncertain with what's gonna happen in the winter. If this was March right now and I knew that we had the summer, I would sign even if with the uncertainty, because I'm able to like go outside and get fresh air. But in the winter, I am just such a baby. I like hate the cold, and if we can't like do anything everything here, I don't think it's going to be that enjoyable for me to get into a new lease right now, like in September. So I decided to move home for a few months. Moving home, I will be living with my parents in Charlotte, North Carolina. Just moved into a new house, so it has a pool, which is like so nice, so I'm at least excited for that. And I want to say I recognize that I am grateful that I have this opportunity, that I have parents that are letting me in, that I have parents that have space for me in their home. I have like a nice house to go back to where I can just get up and leave, you know. I know that was a lot of criticism for people that like ended up leaving New York and going home is because like, oh, you're just escaping the city. But realistically, my apartment that I'm going to spend money on is going to be minimum $2,500 for a one bedroom or a studio. I'm even thinking realistically it'll be $3,000, but an absolute minimum $2,500 for the type of place I'm going to be looking for. And if I was going to go home, let's say during the holidays, which I had planned, Thanksgiving is end of November, Christmas is end of December, I wouldn't want to travel back home and then travel back here and then travel back home. I'd just like go home and stay for at least minimum a month. And so that'd just be so much money wasted in rent. So I'm going to reassess in January of 2021 what I'm going to do, because by then it'll be winter already and I'll kind of see how New York is doing. So most likely I will be back between January and March. That's kind of my goal, to be back between January and March of 2021. So I am coming back to the city. I'm excited to start looking for one bedrooms when that time comes and filming it. I'm excited to like redecorate my space. I'm like selling everything so I can start fresh whenever I come back. But you guys, I am so heartbroken for leaving. Like, I am so sad. It just feels like a part of me is just like leaving. Like I feel like I've only been here a year and I've always been trying to look at the positive, and like, you know, everyone's in that same boat, but like I can't believe I'm leaving. And I know some of the comments are gonna be like, well, technically you don't have to leave, but realistically, financially, just doesn't make sense for me to spend a lot of money on an apartment when I don't even know if I would have spent a lot of time here in the winter, like 2 months out from winter, you know. So I think that I'm just gonna reassess. It sucks because like my boyfriend's in Boston, so we were so close now he could just drive and see me, and now it's a flight, and like flying during this time is like not smart. So it's just like it's tough. I've been long distance before. We've been like OKC to Charlotte, which has been like really long distance, and so I know like we'll make it work. It's just like gonna be so annoying again because we've gotten to spend a lot of time together this last half of the quarantine. But yeah, I'm sorry for being so down. I'm just literally so sad. I know it's the option that makes the most sense, and so I know a lot of you guys have also moved home with your parents. I've talked to a lot of you in my DMs. I'd love to know if you guys, like, what you guys ended up doing. I'm gonna miss my New York City content, but I know it'll be back, and it'll be back better than ever because I'll have like my own space and like it'll be nice. I'm excited for just like working from home content and stuff in North Carolina as well. But yeah, this situation just makes the most sense for me. It's what I think is best. I was really nervous filming this because I'm like, I know so many people are gonna have opinions of like, you're just escaping, you're leaving, you're not a real New Yorker, whereas like no one really said I was. But I know people are gonna have some opinions. People like my New York City content, trust me, no one is more upset about this than I am. I can assure you. It's not a decision that I made lightly, and it's not a decision I even wanted. I literally found out 2 days ago that we were gonna have to move. Like, I was planning on staying here. I just bought this new desk and this desktop computer and this chair, and I have to move it back to North Carolina. I'm actually keeping that, but everything else I'm selling. So if anyone wants anything, DM me. New York has been home for me before I even moved here, so that's why it's very emotional for me. Some people are like, you've only been there for 1 year, who cares? But it's just, this place has been my home forever, like since I was 9 years old, since that's when I wanted to move here. I've been visiting New York for so long. Like 3 to 6 months of being away from New York will be the longest 3 to 6 months in years, because I would come like once a month when I was in college, and I just love New York. So I'm sad. I wish that I could be like a tough New Yorker and tough it out, but just financially it makes no sense. Like if I had a lease in the middle of this, I would have just stayed here, but because my lease is ending, it doesn't make sense. And who knows, maybe I'll be back in 1 month. Like there's always a possibility. I'm just being realistic. I think I will be back from January to March because I want to see how the winter is here. That's kind of what I've been dealing with, and I wanted to make this little announcement. I hope that you guys are ready for some move out vlogs, which will be very depressing, and then I hope that you're ready for some more Charlotte, North Carolina content. And just like, if you guys are living at home with your parents, I get it. I'm not looking forward to it. I mean, I just feel like some relationships with family are better when you guys are like living separately, so I get that. I feel like a lot of people like I don't talk about family relationships on the internet, and I'm not really ever going to. Like, I love my family, but it's one of those things where, you know, your family, you get in fights, you butt heads. I like my freedom, I like my independence. So it's also like, if you're in the same boat as me, like you're not like wanting to move back home, but you kind of have to move back home, I feel you. I love my family though, so I don't want to make it seem like, oh my god, I hate it. Like, I'm so freaking grateful for them being able to take me in. It's just, I feel like that's some things not many people talk about, is how sometimes it can be difficult with relationships moving back in, even if you love them. Anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I wanted to give you guys that life update, and I'll see you guys in my next vlog. One of my last New York City vlogs for a really long time. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. I'm actually gonna cry. Bye.